What's up, everybody? What is today? Tuesday, May 2nd. We're in May. That's amazing. And we're going to do another Linchpin member interview. So, we'll do our normal game where we wait and see if they potentially join. Laura, I see you. Let's see. Um, Now, let's see if the request is coming in. Oh, this is fast. Okay, I'm accepting. You get a little notification on your side that you can join. And let's see how this goes here.
Okay, let's see if this is
Hey,
working. There we go.
all right.
Can you hear me okay?
I can. I'm going to raise my desk a little bit so that I'm in frame. Okay, perfect. Hey, thanks so much for making this work. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. This has been fun. I've been watching a couple of the other ones. It's really cool to get to know everybody.
Yeah, we're just in the early stages of hopefully starting to do these. I plan on doing these. I hate to even say it out loud because anytime I set myself to something, something goes wrong. But I plan on doing these every Tuesday for the foreseeable future because then over the course of a year, we're still only going to get through 52 members. I mean, so there won't even be a drop in the pond there. So I think I could do them every Tuesday and then keep the Ask Me Anythings on Thursday, and I think that'll be good. So that's that. So let's see. Let's get a little background on you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What part of the world are you in?
I live in Reno, Nevada. We moved here. I'm from Texas. We moved here about 7 years ago. Was in California before that. But I have three kids, 11, 7, and 4, and we homeschool. And so
You're
it's
you're
just,
busy.
it's busy. They all play baseball, and yeah, pretty much just crazy schedule all the time, but it's fun.
Do you find it challenging with the homeschooling to make the kids actually realize, like, okay, now we're switching off from playtime, normal time, now we're in school?
Yeah, it is really hard. With the older one, I can be like, no screen time, no, fun stuff till your list of stuff that you got to get done is done. But you can't, do that with the, you know, 7-year-old and the 4-year-old. They need a lot more breaks. So it's hard, but we get our stuff done. We don't have the, super structured, rigid schedule like a lot of homeschoolers do. We're kind of all over the place, but I kind of feel like as long as we get our stuff done, you know.
When the kids get to I've got three kids myself, and when the kids get to the age that you can use the restriction of the screen time as a negotiating tool, I think it's one of the most powerful, it's one of the
It
most
is.
powerful
It
tools in
is.
the world.
That's what I did this morning. I set them up with a movie and with strict instructions, do not interrupt me. So
Hmm.
we'll see how it goes. But
Well,
movies are great.
I'll try not to keep you for too long from them, but let's get a little background on you. How long have you been doing CrossFit?
I was looking back at old pictures to try to figure it out. We started in 2009.
Oh,
So it was
wow,
right
okay.
when CrossFit was like starting to become a thing. Had no
Mm-hmm.
idea how popular it was going to be. We started in Oklahoma in college and did it for a couple of years till my husband went to grad school in California. And while he was in grad school, we weren't part of an official gym. So we kind of dabbled in it here and there. But for about 3 years, we kind of took a break. And then after my daughter was born, we that was 2015 is when we really got back like kind of full-time CrossFit, and ever since then we've been doing it.
Okay. And where are you working out? Is it a garage? Is it your backyard? Is it the driveway?
Um, yeah, garage right now, garage slash outside, and we have a pull-up bar and rings in the living room.
That's
So when we need to
amazing.
move all our stuff, we just like have all the doors open and are going in and out, But
Do the kids ever play on those?
yeah, they love it. They will swing. We have like a, I don't know, 12-foot high ceiling in there, and they'll just swing back and forth all the way across the living room on the rings. It's hilarious.
Oh, that's super cool. So with as busy as you are running the household, schooling the kids, the whole nine yards, when are your workout times? Is it early in the morning? Is it late at night? Is it just different every single solitary day?
It's mostly early in the morning,
Okay.
but during the summer, I like to do it outside in the afternoons with the kids outside. But it's just hard to be consistent if I wait until the afternoon to work out. Seems like stuff always comes up. So we get up really early. We get up at 4 and usually work out at 5. And so if I do
Good
it, I
for
always get it
you.
in. But, well, we go to bed at 8, so it's not that impressive. But
Oh, I'll tell you
it's
what, people will probably think that I'm crazy when that's like my dream schedule. I If I could get to bed at 8, I can't because of our 13-year-old and our 11-year-old currently in basketball practice and things like that. It's just not even possible. If I could get in bed at that time and get up at 4 regularly, for me personally, that hour of the day, it's almost like the world hasn't woken up yet and it's peaceful and I can get more. I feel like I can get, if I work from 4 to 6, even though that's 2 hours, it's like 4 hours worth of work
Mhm.
because there's no interruptions, there's no anything. It's just, I don't know. Personally, I really like it as long as I can get in bed at a reasonable time.
Right. That's key. That's
And
the hard part. When we get to bed late, it's not so great
oh,
in the mornings.
I can only imagine. So when I was reaching out to people, and I guess if there's other Lynchpin Private Track members listening, like I said, shoot me an email at info@crossfitlynchpin.com and tell me a little bit about your story when you started Lynchpin. If you're willing to hop on Instagram and do one of these things, I've got a backlog of emails. My apologies if I haven't gotten back to you. I will eventually. It might take a while. But when you wrote in, you said some interesting things. You said that you had dabbled in CrossFit previously, and I know I'm not looking to, unearth anything bad or, no need to name names or whatnot, but you said you had a bad experience previously with CrossFit, and then that Linchpin helped get you out of a pretty bad place. Without going into, crazy details, what's the high level story about that?
Yeah, when we moved to Reno, we got straight into a gym, and our friends are the owners. We have great relationship with them. It was all good and great. And then when COVID hit, my grandpa, my aunt actually passed away from COVID at the very beginning in 2020 in April. So it was long story, really, really difficult situation and how that happened. But we had kept going to our gym, and for a while it was a good, that was my outlet. Like I was all into CrossFit. I knew all the big CrossFit athletes. All their life stories. I mean, I was obsessed with it. I was gonna, it was awesome. Then suddenly some stuff happened, without going into details with some people at our gym, and it started becoming, I just hated it, like because of things that were going on and comments that were being made. And every day I just dreaded going to the gym. But I
Mm,
also couldn't picture ever working out at home. I didn't think I could be motivated to do that.
mm-hmm.
So I kept going, and I remember one specific time, and I left the gym, and I thought, I can't do this anymore. I can't be in this environment. So I called our friends, the owners. I said, no hard feelings, but this is not for me right now. I don't know what I'm going to do. I loved running. I thought maybe I'll go back to running, and that was it. And so, we stayed home for a while. It was hard to my husband also decided to just stay home and work out, but he's a lot better at being motivated to do stuff on his own.
Okay.
And I just felt kind of like, my one thing that had been my outlet um,
Mm-hmm.
was gone. My adult contact with other adults during the day was
That's a
gone,
huge
and so
deal.
I was stuck at home, and I just kind of lost. I didn't have any motivation to do anything. And then Travis, my husband, said, I heard about this CrossFit Linchpin thing. I'll try it for a couple weeks and see how it goes. So he tried it and he loved it. And he's like, you should just try it, see what you think. And I was very skeptical that doing something at home with like an online community could
Oh,
be
sure.
that motivating, honestly, because I was so used to I'm super competitive and I liked doing it in person with people. But I decided to give it a shot. And, it was forever before I posted anything in the Facebook group because I was so intimidated to put anything. But I think I posted some kind of funny, something about working out with the kids, and everybody was just so encouraging and responsive to everything. And I started following other people on there and I just loved it. And so, yeah, here we are.
Out of curiosity, because that might resonate with some other people. I mean, was it just that interaction that you're talking about that suddenly you previously didn't have the motivation or struggled to work out solo on your own, was what you just said there suddenly enough to get you up in the morning and get working out, or did you slowly develop the discipline on your own in addition to that? What was that catalyst that now you're okay making this happen on your own?
I think, I mean, the group, the online group is a really big part of it. Seeing that there were other, because I'm not a, person that's RXing all the workouts. I'm scaling a lot, and that's something I
Amen to
also
that.
struggled with a ton. Yeah, which I know, like, y'all talk about a lot is the value in scaling stuff, and that's something that was missing at our previous gym. There was always so much pressure to do stuff
Sure.
RX. And so like just knowing there's other people, hey, everybody's like modifying this in some way. And there's a lot of other parents that are, anytime I see a post from a parent that's got interrupted 4 times and so their time on the workout is not accurate.
Yep.
It's okay to not time it. Sometimes I get frustrated or really angry when I get interrupted all the time. So a lot of times I just don't time stuff because then I don't get mad and it's still a good workout. But seeing those
100%.
posts from everybody and setting some other goals, I started finding other events that I wanted to do,
Oh,
like the
nice.
strongman, did like a strongman competition, and
Oh, that's
so
cool.
you know, finding those kind of events and then seeing everybody's posts online, all that together, and it helps that my husband's doing it with me. We're working out together, so that that helps too. So I think it was kind of gradual, but
Uh,
everything
I'll tell
together.
you what, I plan on doing both the things that you just said with today's workout. I plan on modifying it, which is just a fancy word for scaling, and not running the clock. Today's workout's JT for anybody who's unaware. It's just handstand push-ups, ring dips, and push-ups. And handstand push-ups are just, they're not something I ever could do, given dumb things I've done to my body. They're not something I probably ever will do for the rest of my life. And so anytime they comes up, it's an immediate scale for me, and that's okay. I'll make it work for me. I'll get perfectly fit, and who cares that it's different? But there's also so much interference in that workout that I'll probably just not run the clock and make it a lower intensity day. And hey,
Hmm.
that's cool because you're right there. I mean, life's got enough pressure that working out shouldn't be something that you feel pressure about or anything negative or any anxiety or any of that stuff. If any of that stuff is going on, man, like I said, that's going to crop its ugly head up just with regular life. There's no need to have that happen with like your strength and conditioning. That's no good.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Did you say that when you mentioned the strongman competition, is that something that is on your horizon, or did you already knock that out?
No, I did it in March,
How'd it
and
go?
I'm going to do
What was it
another one in
like?
July because I loved it.
Tell me
It was so
about it.
much fun. Well, my husband had done a couple, and I had kind of watched, and I've never been someone that's been super strong, so I kind of thought that's not, you know, for me. I also hate being the center of attention, so the thought of like running is great because you kind of blend in. I love trail running. You blend in with the group, and it's fine. But the thought of like going in front of a bunch of people and trying to lift something that you probably can't do
Right.
was super intimidating. So that's part of the reason I did it was just I want to. It's kind of scary. I want to see if I can do it, but also the community in strongman reminded me so much of the community in CrossFit when I first started. Like everybody is just helping each other, loaning each other gear, like giving you tips. Like it's all just everybody's having fun. So I decided to go for it, and I had a surgery for a hernia in December, so that messed up my training. But then in January, I hired a strongman coach at a local gym, and so I combined that some with CrossFit, and he helped me practice some of the odd object
And
stuff.
I
And
know just enough about strongmen to be dangerous, but not much. Are we talking, log lifts, heavy farmers carries, like loading objects? Like what kind of stuff are you talking about? Like what kind of events might you face or have you
on
faced?
that one, we had a stone to shoulder, which is like the Atlas stone. You got to put it on your shoulder, and then we did a one where you had to push a truck and then load some sandbags into it. That felt very
That's
CrossFit-ish. I liked that
awesome.
one. Yeah. Yeah, stuff. We had a heavy farmer's carry and a log press and stuff like that. It was really fun.
So basically, when your kids are out talking to their friends or talking to other adults, and somebody says, "What's your mom doing today?" They're like, "Well, yesterday she pushed a truck." That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I wish they talked like that. Mostly it's like, wow, mom, you're not as strong as dad. But
They will one day realize what's going on. I think I always think that's the same with my kids as well, as
yeah.
they just don't quite know yet. So, well, let's see, with regards to, you've got the discipline, you're working out, you're hitting the workouts regularly. What are the things when they come around that they make you smile, and what are the things that you dread but you still force yourself to do?
You mean as far as movements, as far as workouts?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate handstands, mostly because I've never been able to do them and it frustrates me so much. I get
Hmm.
upside down and I just lose all sense of where my body is and I've practiced them and I hate it. So when that comes up in a workout, I'm just like, whatever,
Yeah.
not doing that. I can't do strict pull-ups, so that's always, I
Those
hurt
are
my shoulder
tough.
years ago. Yeah, I did kipping pull-ups because I was in a competition and I was like, yeah, I want to do the competition. I knew I had no business doing them because
Mm,
I didn't have the strength and I hurt myself. So I promised myself I'm not doing pull-ups until I can do them strict.
yep.
Um, that's frustrating when it comes up. I hate having to it's still that mindset of not wanting to scale stuff too much,
I can tell you're a
but it's
competitive
good.
person.
Yeah.
Are you doing, when the pull-ups do come up, what are you doing? Are you embracing some ring rows? Do you have a band? Are you doing bent over rows, or what works for you?
I do mostly ring rows because we have rings and we don't have the
Ring
right
rows are
strength
awesome.
bands. So that's what I do, and eventually I'll start practicing pull-ups again.
Yeah.
But
I
for
mean,
now, I'm focusing on just ring rows.
I say this all the time. Ring rows are fantastic, and everybody could probably use more ring rows in their life. Even people that can do pull-ups. I mean, you just keep angling your body and kicking your feet out and kicking your feet out, and eventually putting them on a box. I mean, you can make ring rows
They're
equally
hard.
hard as strict pull-ups, like for sure. But they're so you can scale them like that by just moving your body. So
Hmm.
I'm a huge fan of ring rows. Okay, so that's what makes you frown. What do you love?
I love running, and I know that's
All right, I'm
not a
with you.
popular
I'm with you.
answer, but I love it. Running and rowing, any workout that's like I'm not very fast, but I can keep going forever, it feels like. So I love the long, mentally challenging ones. So running, rowing, that kind of stuff. Farmer carries, I love that kind of
And
stuff.
with dabbling with the strongman stuff, does that mean that you enjoy lifting, or did you just dive into the strongman even though maybe you're about lifting?
I always enjoyed lifting.
Okay.
It just always like deadlifts. I've always been scared I'm going to hurt myself. So training with that strongman coach in January helped me build that confidence a ton. And
Oh,
so
that's
now I'm
cool.
working in a lot heavier. A couple of times a week, I do some squatting and deadlifting to kind of work up for the next competition. And so I work that in with the CrossFit workouts, but I like
Okay.
it. They're just not my favorite workouts are the long endurance type workouts.
I'm with you there. I like running as well, 100% for sure. So, not to put you on the spot, but let's see, and every time when I do this, sometimes, a name doesn't come to somebody's head. But does anybody, when you're surfing through the BTWB squads or the Facebook group, are there any people that, motivate you, or, you see their posts and they fire you up a little bit that jumps to your head?
I am like so bad at recognizing people's names, but anytime somebody posts something about, my schedule was all messed up today, but I got something in, or, my kids are sick, I
Mm-hmm.
got interrupted 6 times, but I got something like that's always
I, I
inspiring to
agree.
me. And I think, okay, everybody's dealing with the same things.
Yep, I agree.
Everybody's doing their best, and yeah.
Well, let's say there's some people out listening to this or watching this that are in a very similar situation to yourself, busy, maybe they're homeschooling their kids as well, and free time is, almost zero. And so there's a mountain of excuses to why they should put their health and their fitness and their whatever on the back burner, and it can wait. Now, I'll get to it when life is less hectic, which of course that's never going to happen. So what would be your lessons learned or your advice to somebody, just looking to make the leap into some getting fitness back into their life, but they haven't done it yet?
I think I almost feel hypocritical saying this because I struggle with this myself a ton, but I'm always telling myself to value consistency better than perfection because
Oh
when I
yeah.
look back, like a month of so-so workouts that weren't awesome, but you worked out 5 times a week, you're going to be in a lot better place than if you had one workout a week that was perfect, but then you didn't get anything else in the rest of the time. And I really struggle with the attitude of like, well, if I can't do it perfectly, then why even try? So I have tried, even if I'm exhausted and I know I'm not going to get a great workout in, I'll still get up and do something because at least I've instilled the habit of doing something in the morning. So
100%. And I think the non-physical benefits of a workout or moving your body aren't appreciated enough on a regular basis. Like obviously you're ideally improving your strength and conditioning and your fitness, but just doing that for yourself every day and blowing off some steam, like it's so good for you between the ears with life stress that it's just a little pressure release every day that maybe if you don't get that pressure builds and builds and builds and that's not good for anybody.
yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah, I agree.
100% appreciate you being in the community. Appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule with three kids and keeping them occupied so we could actually have the
Yeah, I was
conversation.
crossing my fingers the
I was
whole
going to
time,
say,
wondering if they were going to knock on the door.
as a parent of three, I'm impressed with what you pulled off. So thanks for taking the time, Laura. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the Facebook group.
All right, thank you.
Have a great day. Bye.
You too. Bye.